What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, and today I'm featuring a Shadow Gardevoir in the Go Battle League Ultra Premier Cup. If you like seeing unique team comps, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. In my first battle today, I ran into a Venusaur lead. This isn't the best because Charizard's my only real counter. Gardevoir doesn't do much damage to it, and Sludge Bombs are super effective against Gardevoir. I know this is more than likely just a Frenzy Plant, and it is, but I go ahead and shield because I want to be able to charm Venusaur down to a manageable level for my Charizard. Venusaur does have to throw another charge move, and it's another Frenzy Plant, so I know they're being very smart with their energy, but I'm still hoping to be able to farm them down with Charizard. I'm not able to, and I go ahead and take this hit. It's a Sludge Bomb, which does a lot of damage to my Charizard. But that's okay, I get a lot of energy on my Charizard, and they bring in Poliwrath. I go ahead and bait with the Dragon Claw, and I get their shield. Next, I try to be real sneaky and catch their charge move on Machamp. I'm thinking it's going to be an Ice Punch, but no, it's a Dynamic Punch. It does a lot of damage to Machamp. They stay in with their Poliwrath, so I go ahead and throw my Cross Chop. At this point, I'm thinking they might have something weak to Machamp in the back, otherwise they would have switched out by now. They get to their next charge move, and I want to keep Machamp alive, so I go ahead and throw up my shield, even though it's only an Ice Punch. I get to my next Cross Chop, and I throw it immediately. I'm expecting a shield, but they actually go ahead and go down. So what do they have in the back? It's an Alolan Muck. This is normally a good matchup for Machamp, but being this low health, a Dark Pulse will take me out, even though it's resisted. I throw my Cross Chop, and then I time my switch. I immediately spam Blast Burn and hope to win CMP. If I do this correctly, I'll get his shield and then he'll be stuck throwing the Dark Pulse. I do it perfectly. Now his shields are down, and I have some energy on my Machamp. All I have to do is make it to Cross Chop, and that's GG's. So in the end, I was able to win this by predicting that my opponent had something weak to Machamp in the back. Oftentimes you can figure this out by how they act with their previous mon. Moving into my second battle, I'm met with a Poliwrath lead. Charm does super effective damage to fighters, so this is a great lead for me. He does stay in and get a little bit of energy before he switches out. They bring in Venusaur, so I quickly switch to Charizard. From my experience, Venusaur always throws Sludge Bomb first to Charizard. But it's okay, this was my switch in, I'm not too worried about preserving health, I just want to make sure that I maintain switch advantage. I overcharge just slightly, and I go ahead and throw the Blast Burn and I take out Venusaur. They bring back in their Poliwrath, which of course has stored energy. This is going to be an Ice Punch, it's not going to take me out. I farm up some energy and I go ahead and throw Dragon Claw before they get to their next Ice Punch. I'm thinking I might get a shield, but no, they go ahead and eat it. At this point, they go ahead and take out my Charizard. This is great. I've basically taken out 2 of their Pokemon, and I have 2 of mine basically at full health. Their last Pokemon is a Charizard. I go ahead and throw Shadow Ball just to get a shield off first, and then I'm going to switch into my Machamp. At this point, I expect Charizard to play the baiting game, but that's okay. I know I can get to 2 Rock Slides before he can get to 2 Dragon Claws and a Blast Burn. I'm not going to worry about what he's throwing at me, I'm just going to use both of my shields and I'm going to farm up to 2 Rock Slides. I go ahead and throw 1 Rock Slide just to see if he'll let me end the game early. No, they go ahead and shield, they're being a little bit stubborn. Not a problem, I'm almost at my next Rock Slide and he's not at his Blast Burn. So that's a GG's, well played to my opponent, but when Gardevoir is up against a fighting type lead, it's just so easy for me to win. Jumping into my third match, I'm up against this guy. I'm met with a Toxicroak lead. Again, a fighter, great lead for me. They immediately switch out and they go into Charizard. I let them get a little bit of energy and then I switch to my Machamp. I'm going straight for Rock Slide, but they throw first. I know it's just a Dragon Claw, so I don't shield, I eat it. That's fine. I'm going up for my Rock Slide again. I try to overcharge a little bit. I know it's another Dragon Claw, and here's where I make a big mistake. I don't want to shield the Dragon Claw, but that puts me really, really low. All they have to do now is shield, and they're winning switch advantage. They farm me down and get some energy, so I'm forced to come in with my own Charizard. This is not a good look for me. Now they have switch advantage, they know my entire lineup, and I know they have this Blast Burn coming in, so I have to give up a shield. I overfarm, and then I throw Dragon Claw. If this lands, it'll take out their Charizard. I'm expecting Toxicroak to come back in, so I just quickly switch. My mistake, it was a Lapras. So again, not really a good look for me, but I have to stay in with Gardevoir at this point. I'm switch locked. My plan at this point is to protect Gardevoir, get to the Shadow Ball, take out Lapras, and then farm down Toxicroak. However, my opponent knows better, so they shield their Lapras, and they throw their Surf. Will this take out Gardevoir more than likely? Not quite. I get one more Charm through, and then Charizard comes back through. Luckily I have energy on him, so I throw the Dragon Claw, and I'm hoping this takes him out. Unfortunately, no it doesn't, but that's okay. 2 fire spins does take him out. Somehow now I'm looking okay. Remember, Toxicroak doesn't have any energy. I'm able to farm up to Blast Burn, and this is what Charizard does. It just one-shots him. It's amazing. Somehow I pulled that win out, guys. I really misplayed it, but thankful for the win. Going into my next battle, I ran into a terrible lead. It's a Gengar. Gengar and Empoleon are the worst leads for this team, but I do go ahead and try to switch into Machamp, hoping that they'll switch alongside me and then I can re-win switch advantage and end up lining up Gengar with Charizard. They stay in, they throw a lot of attacks at me. I'm just like, whatever, get my Machamp out of here, it's fine. But then they switch. They switch as I'm throwing a Rock Slide into a Crustle, which is amazing because Rock Slide does super effective damage to them. At this point, I can bring Gardevoir back in and just farm them down without worrying about them throwing a charge attack. Of course, they bring their Gengar back in, and my switch clock's not quite up, but I do get to it. I switch into Charizard, and this is the alignment that I want, but I know they have either a Sludge Bomb or a Shadow Ball, so I do have to shield. I'm really happy that I properly shielded that, it wasn't a bait, and then I throw my Dragon Claw. They do use their last shield, and then they bring in Lapras. I'm not really here to play games, so I go ahead and go straight for Blast Burn. If it lands, it will do a lot of damage to Lapras because it is neutral. It does land, but then they have their attack ready. I go ahead and throw up my shield, I know a Surf would take me out. I'm watching my switch clock and thinking about switching back into Shadow Gardevoir, but I get to Dragon Claw at the same time, so I go ahead and throw it. At this point I'm thinking Lapras is low, I can probably just farm them down. I know they get to Surf, but I'm still thinking I'm okay because of they're so low. They bring back in Gengar, and no, I did not realize they had energy still on Gengar, so they're able to Shadow Punch me, and that's a GG's. Very well played to my opponent. Moving into my final battle, I'm up against Robert, and he brings in a Dragonite lead, another great lead for Shadow Gardevoir. He switches into Venusaur. You already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out my Charizard. Just like before, I eat the first attack. It is a Sludge Bomb, and then I overfarm just a little bit. This time I'm not going to let him CMP time me. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Blast Burn. He does throw up a shield, which is interesting to me. So I'm thinking, I guess he's already had another Sludge Bomb. I'll go ahead and give him my shield. No, it's just a Frenzy Plant. That's fine, whatever. I'm just going to farm him down and have a lot of energy for whatever comes in next. He brings back in his Dragonite, and that's perfect for me because I have 2 Dragon Claws ready to go. He shields the first one, but the second one's going to go through because he has no more shields. He's able to farm me down after that. Of course, I bring back in Gardevoir. He immediately switches out into Lapras. It's just hard counter city. There's really nothing he can do at this point. He throws Surf. I guess he has a little bit of hope. There's not a whole lot. Yeah, and he just quits. So that's a GG's. Overall, really happy with how Shadow Gardevoir performed for me. My Shadow Gardevoir is actually terrible IVs. It's going to be very good IVs when Master League comes back out, but for Ultra League, actually terrible. Still, you can see how good she is in the Ultra Premier League. I really had a lot of fun with this team, and if you enjoyed this content as well, please make sure you like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. Without any further ado, this is ChillisFM wishing you good luck in your battles.